Good morning. Today we are going to start next chapter, that is community ecology. First point, biological community. What is biological community? Community itself means that it's a group of different organisms that may include plants, animals and microorganisms. So a biological community is such a type of assemblance of what all plants, animals and microorganisms. They exist together, and that assemblance is called a biological community. Biological community means it's a community where plants, animals and microorganisms occur together. Example is a grassland is a biological community with all its organisms. Next, characteristics of a community. First characteristic is species diversity. Always a community may certainly have a diversity. Different types of plants, animals are present in a community. So, certainly it have a species diversity. How can we assess the diversity? It's very simple, by enumerating. Enumeration. Enumeration means counting. Through counting we can assess the diversity. But it is applicable only in the case of large organisms, large plants. But in the case of insects, it's very difficult to enumerate. So, for assessing diversity, depending upon which organism, there is different methods. Then regulation, how species diversity, regarding its regulation. It's very easy to regulate a complex ecosystem. Why? Because it has so many niches. Niches, niches. What is niche? Any idea? I will tell you one example. Suppose there is a tree, and in that tree different organisms are living. Maybe birds are there, then termites are there, certain small flies are there. All are depending that tree, but their food are different. Each type of food constitute each separate niches. So niche means what is that? What these organisms feed upon. That determines its niche. I think it's very clear to you. Niche. So if a community have so many niches, then it's very easy to regulate the community. Then stability of a climax community. So in that way depends on after it attain so many niches, then that community, we can say that it attains stability. Okay, then next property is growth form and structure. Growth form and structure means if we consider a plantation or a particular vegetational area, there will be a diversified forms of plants. Plants will be there. They may differ in the form, shape, size of the leaf. That's the example for the difference in growth form and structure. Means this is the difference that particular individuals in a community, they differ each other with respect to its appearance and form. That is another characteristic of a community. Clear? Then zonation and stratification. Zonation, I will show you a picture. So this is the picture of a vegetational area. There is horizontal layering. It is called zonation. Means this much area includes tall trees, and below that medium height trees, and below that again short trees, and below that shrubs. Everything are there. There is zonation or horizontal layering that is there. And stratification. What is stratification? Stratification, it is the vertical. Other one is horizontal. This is a vertical layering. This is a vegetation area. Here we are taking only this much area. This is the top. That includes canopy. Canopy means the bungee branches of all trees having leaves. Everything will comes under this part, canopy part. And below that, understory region is there. So this is the vertical layering. That vertical layering is called stratification. These are two way of arrangement based on growth form. Then again we are going to see stratification. Stratification, what is stratification? I already told you, it's a vertical arrangement of living community. Then pioneer community. What is pioneer? What's the meaning of this word pioneer? Pioneer means the first one. Who is the first community is occupied by which organism, which group? There is a pioneer community. Then components in a climax community. When a community attains or reach its climax stage, who all are present? Which are the components? They include canopy. Canopy means the topmost, means the top of trees, that area. And that area have branches and leaves of tall plants, and also which are the animals in that canopy region. They include insects, birds, lizards, etc. may be found there. Then below that, middle stratum is there. Middle stratum means shade tolerant trees are present in middle stratum, and the animals commonly seen in those areas are insects, or again present here also. Then spiders are there, reptiles are there. Then regarding the bottom layer means it is composed of shrubs and herbs. And animals that found in the bottom layer includes invertebrates, amphibians, reptiles, birds, etc. And this type of stratification is also found in fresh and marine water. What's the significance of this stratification? Through the stratification, we can avoid unhealthy competition. Because we very clearly know that when a certain amount of food or a certain number of sweet is with us, if we wisely distribute among a group of people, then we can avoid competition. Similar way, the stratification also is like that, because through stratification we can avoid unhealthy competitions. Then dominance, which plant group, which animal, which one is dominant in a particular community? That is the ecological dominance. Show an image. Here in this picture you can see this plant are dominant. Okay, this particular. So this species control the energy flow towards the environment and to other organisms, because they are the controlling species, because it determine the energy should flow to how much energy should flow to environment, how much to pass to the next other organisms. It is determined by that dominant species. That phenomenon is called the ecological dominance. Okay. Next. Then criteria. Which are the criteria that determine the dominancy? Certain factors should be satisfied by the dominance plant or animal group. Which are those criteria? They should be highly successful. Means that particular plant or animal should be successful. Means it can better adapt with that environment. Such a group can only be a dominant group. And second point, its cover and population density should be more. And also the third one, its frequency should be high. It should be abundant. Height also should be more. Should have more height. And its life form and vitality should be more. Example is eucalyptus in hill forest. Okay, because why we are telling, why taking the case of eucalyptus as an example, because its vitality is there, it has high vitality, it has rapid growth, and its root are highly penetrating. Because of all these features, we are considering, we are taking eucalyptus as an example for this ecological dominance. Then succession is another characteristic of the community. What is succession? Three terms you need to give more what's stress. Which are the terms? Gradual or gradual, and that gradual change itself should be in order. Gradual, orderly, and also it is predictable. Gradual, orderly, predictable changes in the composition of a community that lead to its climax condition. That entire process is called the succession. Succession is the entire process. That process is a gradual, orderly, and predictable changes that happens to the composition of community, which helps that community to attain climax. The trophic structure and nutritional self-sufficiency. And a community is actually self-sufficient and nutritionally balanced, then only it can be stable. Then community boundaries. Usually it is difficult to predict the boundary. Suppose you imagine about a grassland, and it's bordered by a forest area. So very clear cutly we cannot tell where that grassland finish stops and where that forest start, because that change is very gradual. So it's very difficult to predict or to tell which is the clear cut boundary between two community. But in the case of aquatic and terrestrial community, there is a demarcated boundary. Another ecotone and edge effect, very 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 important. Ecotone means is the that region. It is this region is between. It's a transitional zone between the meeting point of two community, the terrestrial and aquatic, and the region where these two community meet together. That meeting point, that transitional zone, is called a ecotone. Okay. And what's the peculiarity of ecotone? It's a merging of two different environments. It is can be narrow or wide. Narrow ecotone occurs between a pond and an adjacent land area. Wide ecotone happens where between somewhat similar types of adjacent plot. In those cases, that ecotone will be of wide one. Then that area is having high species strength, species wealth is there. Unique species also found in this ecotone region. Then, what is edge effect? Edge effect means species richness in the boundary. Boundary means in the ecotone. It is called the edge effect. What is the reason for that species richness? Because of wide range of suitable environmental condition. This is the reason for the edge effect. Then continuum concept. Continuum concept means there is no well-defined boundary between the community. It almost feels like that it is continuous, because that first community is almost continuous with the second. But actually it's not continuous, but gradually some changes are accumulating, and it forms another community. But we feel that it is continuous. There is no well-defined boundary. So that is continuum concept. There is only a gradual change with respect to space, with respect to time, and all these things. Then ecological indicators. That's also very important. Can we ask for 2 mark question also? What is ecological indicators? They are certain species. Which type of species? Presence of those species indicate what is the condition exists in a particular environment. Such type of organisms are called ecological indicators. Their presence indicates the condition of a place. The indicator species. They are called sentinel organisms. Sentinel means guarding organisms. Indicator species should be have high biomonitoring potential. They should have high biomonitoring potential. Maybe mostly of plants. Oysters, mussels, earthworm also play the same role. What is the benefit of using these ecological indicators? Because they are less expensive and time saving. Community periodicity. In that we need to understand about seasonal rhythms. What is seasonal rhythms means? Seasonal sequence of changes. Seasonal sequence of changes happening on what all attributes? Attributes like structure, physiology and behavior. So seasonal rhythm means according to season some changes are happening. Means changes are happening with respect to what all parameters with regard to structure of the organism, its physiology and behavior. That's called a seasonal rhythm. How that seasonal rhythm happens? In response to physical or chemical parameters. And these these seasonal rhythms affects the three basic drives like food, shelter and reproduction. With respect to season, some changes can happen with regard to the food selection, shelter selection, reproduction pattern. Then circadian rhythm. Circadian rhythm. What is circadian rhythm? It is the periodicity, means that behavioral adjustment according to day and night. That is circadian rhythm. Then what is diurnal and nocturnal? Diurnal means activity difference based on daytime. That is diurnal. And nocturnal means those organisms which are active only in night time. Then crepuscular activity. Crepuscular activity means some organisms become active or inactive based on the dawn and dusk. Dawn and dusk type. During that conditions, only some organisms become active. Dawn means prafara pradosham. Then examples of organisms showing circadian rhythm. Mimosa pudica, then Phaseolus, Oxalis, all of organisms showing examples for this circadian rhythm. Then lunar and tidal periodicity. What is that? Periodicity in behavior means change in the behavior. According to what? According to moons orbiting around the earth. According to moons orbiting around the earth, there is some changes happen in some certain organisms. Such type of periodicity is called tidal or lunar periodicity. This is very clear for you regarding high tide and low tide, വേലിയേറ്റം and വേലിയിറക്കം. Happens because of the attractional pull of moon. Because of this pull, the region of the earth where it's covered by that ocean, in this region where it faces opposite to the moon, from that region water moves high, and in that region experience high tide, and the region opposite to that point also experience the same high tide correspondingly, but the other two sides experience low tide. So high tide happens with response mainly to the moon's attraction. Then example, it is mainly highly it is obvious in the case of marine community. Marine community means intertidal organism. Intertidal regions already we have discussed in the some former chapters. So intertidal organisms always they need to adjust with the anoxic condition. So they have some special adaptations to cope up with that. Anoxia, how it happens? In their habitat, they are facing sudden, sudden means different in environmental condition. That is, maybe during high tide they experience enough amount of water, but in the low tide there will be a scarcity of water. There is a lot of difference may happen with regard to the abundance of oxygen. Ecological succession. Ecological succession means it is the definite sequence of community that occupying a same area over a period of time. That is ecological succession. What is ecological succession? It is a definite sequence of communities where it is found in same area over a period of time. Such process is called the ecological succession. According to Smith, there is a definition. It is a orderly progressive replacement of one community by another community and this community by another community, and finally it attains the climax community. Then parameters of succession. For attaining better succession, it is an orderly process of change. And that second point, it results from the modification of the physical environment, because um, first a habitat is occupied by a particular group of animals or plants. After a long period of time, by the activities of first group of plants and animals itself, certain change may happen in that environment, and that change may sometimes turn unfavorable to the first group of plants and animals, and they become extinct, and that same area may be occupied by another type. So that's a modification of the physical environment. And finally, the succession stops after attaining in a stable form. Then pioneers. Pioneers means initially a habitat is occupied by which group of organisms? They are called pioneers. And these pioneers actually converting the existing environmental conditions suitable for the accommodation of next coming communities. So pioneers have a very significant role. Um, most of the cases, lichens acts as the pioneers. We are also very commonly we are seeing this condition, because in frogs everything first small lichens ചെറിയ പയർ പോലെ ചെയ്യത്തില്ലേ small lichens first appears, then as it rains this lichens hold more water, and this leads to the gradual withering of the rocks, and that create the environment convenient or suitable for the occupation of another group of plants or animals. In that way, which community occupying an area changes as the time go by. Okay. Then syrup or sealed stages. That means it is the intermediate stages, because in a community first these lichens occupy, then the lichen create the situation environment suitable for the accommodation of next community, and another community is coming, and the next another community is coming, and finally climax. So between this climax and pioneers, array of communities. That intermediate array of communities are called siras. Then basic types of succession. They are primary succession, secondary succession, autogenic succession, and allogenic succession. First we are going to see about primary succession. What is primary succession? Means primary succession means a community is forming in a place. That place is not previously occupied by any type of organism. It is totally sterile. From such a substratum or such an environment, if a community start to originate, that type of community, that type of succession is called primary succession, because it starts from a unfavorable condition. That succession begins from an unfavorable condition. Example, succession happens or development of a community starts on an area through where a volcanic eruption happens, or in an island or such type, because previously that area is not occupied by any plant or animal groups. And that primary succession, another feature is it is very slow, in a very slow pace only primary succession happens. And primary succession on a terrestrial side, how it happens? First year, the terrestrial site is occupied by, as I told you a few minutes before, this first environment area habitat is first occupied by lichens. They are the pioneers, and after a few generations, that lichen itself alter the habitat conditions and make the conditions favorable for the accommodation by another group of community. And that process continues through many communities, and um, each community become extinct because of so many factors like the competition between the members or like that. Then and finally it reaches the climax or the stable condition. That is primary succession. Then what about secondary succession? Secondary succession means it starts when it's not starts from a sterile area. It actually starts from area where actually it is previously occupied by some other community. Okay. The secondary succession starts from such an area where it is actually occupied by a former community. It doesn't start from a sterile environment. Okay. And so in that case, conditions are favorable from the beginning time onwards itself. Fertile substratum is present there from the beginning time onwards. Then, then what is the reason of the disappearance of pre-existing group? Maybe because of the sudden change in climate or biotic interventions, or some fires may also wipe off the pre-existing. So many reasons are there. Then classification of secondary succession. Secondary succession, again we can classify it into based on two types. Based on the cause, what is the reason? Based on the reason, we can classify secondary succession into autogenic succession and allogenic succession. Autogenic means self. Means a community is extinct only because of its own activity. It's called autogenic succession. Then allogenic succession means a community is replaced by another, not because of their intervention, but because of some external factors, that may be climate or anything like that. That is allogenic succession. Then based on the changes in the nutrition and the energy content, two types of succession is there: autotrophic succession and heterotrophic succession. Autotrophic means that succession begins from inorganic environment, and that inorganic environment through many periods, after many periods, it converted to organic. Such type of succession is called autotrophic. Means it starts from plants, and gradually the plants that environment become favorable to the for the accommodation by animals. That is autotrophic. Then heterotrophic means it begins in a organic environment, and that organic environment gradually changes to inorganic environment, because it starts with so many bacteria, fungi, everything like that, because it acts on that body or like that. Then they act and they increase the organic content and feed, or then change that organic content or organic environment to an inorganic environment. Inorganic environment means again plants start to grow. So only this thing, autotrophic means simply beginning plants are present and later animals are accommodating. But in the case of heterotrophic means beginning by heterotrophic organisms, later it is occupied by plants. Based on the nature of habitat where that succession is happening. Hydrax means the succession begins it begins in a wet area. Sirach means the succession occurs in dry area. That is Sirach. Then last, process in succession is very, very, very important. Most probably it is asking for your examination. Nudation, first one. What is nudation? And nudation separately also are asking for the examination. Nudation means it is the it's the accommodation, or a bare area is first occupied by a particular group of organism or plants. That first firstly, who is first accommodating a bare area, that process is called nudation, primary succession. So otherwise we can simply tell it as a primary succession. And the forces that favors the primary succession are so many. Topographic factors are also there. Topographic factors means soil erosion, water, wind, all are topographic factors that helps or support a primary succession or nudation, occupants of a bare area by some organism. Then some biotic factors also favor support the occupation of a bare area by some fresh or nude organisms. That is nudation. Then invasion or migration. That means after the successful development of first group of organism, so many other species also invade to the new site by the disposal of seeds, spores, anything like that. That is invasion or migration. Then echesis. Echesis means after invading, after occupying the new site, then they become successful. They become adjusted with the new environment and start to reproduce. That stage is called echesis. Then aggregation means because of reproduction, its population size increases. That is aggregation. As the population size increase, then they here start competition for food, water, space. Then reaction. Reaction means because of competition, all other forces, many modifications are happening to the existing environment. Okay, and because of that change in the environment turns unfavorable or unsuitable for the existing ones. So in that way, that existing community is replaced by a new community. Then last is stabilization. After so many replacement, finally the community attains the climax stage. It is the harmonious stage and it remains unchanged. It is a homeostatic stage. It cannot be replaced. With this we finish this chapter. Thank you.